Earlier this year, I turned 50. Now, feel free to put in the comments, you don't look a day over 49 and a half. Seriously, even if it's not true. But when a milestone like that is reached, an introspective person will find themselves assessing where they are in life. In regards to work, is what I'm doing, providing service, aligned with my own health, happiness, sense of fulfillment, and maybe biggest of all, when you reach a big round number milestone, what's that next chapter look like? Just purely personally, I lost my father to pancreatic cancer only a few short years ago, days before his 70th birthday. It was one of the most brutal things I've ever had to see someone go through. But it does make a person realize when you see something like that, you may be running out of pages in your book. Not every story gets the epilogue that we want. And so again, align what you do with your health and your sense of fulfillment. So, long story short, getting to the point here, I have left automated financial systems. A major life decision like that says more about the decision maker than it does about anyone in any room, building, Pennsylvania Township, parish in Louisiana, train car on New Jersey Transit, bar in Iowa, amusement park in North Carolina, or casino in Las Vegas. If you get all those references, you know me better than I know myself. I do want it to be clear that I will always be a champion of AFS. I believe in the software. I believe in what we built in over 55 years. It would be incredibly lame if I'd been here for almost 21 of those years and said anything other than that. Now, I will always be a champion for AFS because I believe in the people in those buildings. And I'll always be a champion of AFS because, make no mistake, in our industry, where these huge entities, whether financial institution or service provider, AFS has absolutely been the underdog, the scrappy little guy. And you know what? I've always secretly loved that because in the story of David and Goliath, David is the freaking winner. And I do expect AFS to keep winning. There are just too many people to thank here for the time that I had at AFS. Many folks I had individual conversations with. I wish I had had the opportunity to chat individually with everyone. This, I think, is the next best thing. What do you think of my solution? Again, no one wants an Oscar presentation here. That's why the Oscars is over 17 hours long. No one wants a list of names, but I do specifically want to mention just a few people who've been incredibly important to me in my career at AFS, people who really, for the most part, aren't there anymore. From Ron Klein, Carol Stewart, Dean Snyder, folks that were there at the very beginning, to folks like Dennis Tobin, Karen Jorgensen, the late Marge Utrott, taught me incredibly valuable lessons. To some folks that have just recently left, Melissa Hofer, Stacy Baldega, Brenda Alec, and then maybe most importantly, Mr. Jim Greenwood, who I always like to joke, I actually share a birthday with Mr. Greenwood, different year though. Absolutely true. And to the cast of hundreds that are still at AFS, this is the trap. This is where things get dangerous because if I mention someone specifically here, I will absolutely leave 5 others out. You've all been amazing, and I thank you really from the bottom of my heart. So what's next for me, right? Well, you can help me figure that out. I am going independent. I've always wanted to run my own business. But I've also always had problems figuring out what that could be. A book stop, people buy books online. I buy books online. People buy everything online. You can get your groceries delivered and buy them online. Maybe there's just a specific kind of knowledge and maybe also a specific kind of communication that you yourself are thinking you could use, that you find valuable, that you've experienced with me over that 20 plus years, actually. Closer to 30 whenever I was at FIS. So remember that bit about bringing service? I'm serious. Work is about bringing service for me. And if we've worked together before and you think I might be able to help with something you're doing now, drop me a line. You never know. Going independent as a consultant like this means I may have that time to offer to you. So keep me in mind in the future. Watch this space from some additional updates upcoming about my own independent little consulting idea. And if you've watched this to the end, thank you so much for the time you've spent with this video and for the times we may have had during a training event or, an implementation weekend, or when we worked through an install balancing issue or an interface problem, or any number of the things we've been through in the past. I hope I not only got us through it, but made it fun while it lasted. Thanks so much.